Okay, so I'm checking out Moon Hologram Orb Cluster Nucleus. It's May the 11th, 10 o'clock p.m., 2016. What I'm looking at is a nucleus in an active state, and orbs and orb clusters. You can see the orbs going counterclockwise in circular motion around larger clusters, but they're clusters themselves, and around them there are smaller orbs going around them, and around those smaller orbs are going around them, and just a whole bunch of orbs going around in circles counterclockwise. And they're what makes up that nucleus, and that's what creates all this energy, all that movement, because they're moving very fast. Okay, the velocity is high. The orbs have a different charge. Each orb has a different charge. They actually have a positive and a negative charge, each orb. And the way they spin on their axes, and depending on which way they turn and how they act with other orbs or interact with other orbs, and how fast that happens, that acts like an electromagnetic dynamo, and it creates energy, and it also creates the electromagnetic fields that can hold a whole bunch of orbs together into a cluster. Like those clusters, they're stacked on top of each other all over right there. See them? Okay, those are structures made out of organisms themselves, and they don't need to even be connected, because their movement and the velocity of their movement counteracts the gravity of that larger nucleus that we call the moon. So because they move so fast and counterclockwise, and they all have a lot of energy, they actually aren't subject to the gravitational field that's created by this larger cluster, we call our moon, which is just a massive energy in space in different configurations. For instance, tonight it's just a half moon, and you can see and prove it to yourself right there. Those orbs are going right around that point, because there is no dark side where they would have to go all the way around the entire, circumference to pass there. So that point is narrow, and they're just going right around it at a very fast rate or velocity. And you can see them just going at different velocities, but it's fast. No matter how you look at it, it's very fast. So that's what's happening all over, because that's the frequency for tonight. It's very fast, and I don't know exactly how fast, but that's pretty fast. It looks pretty fast to me. And these are intelligent organisms, all of them, every one of them. And you only see some of them because they move so fast that even like this on camera up close, they're hard to see because they're just moving too fast. The ones that you see, you miss 1,000 for each one you see, maybe more. Because we're just not made to see them, and our senses just can't pick them up because they're moving so fast. They're on a totally different level from us, a whole different plane of existence. And another thing is they're not, matter, they're energy. So that makes it even worse. That's why we can't also see them. And there's a large cluster, and you see the orbs going around it. They belong to that cluster. So that whole moon, half moon, is made out of large clusters like that, and a whole lot of smaller orbs that make up those clusters and also spin around those clusters counterclockwise. And all the motion is counterclockwise there and there, like, where the dark side is supposedly there, but since there isn't one, it's not there. Back up, because now I moved it too far. Gotta go back up. Okay, so I'm gonna go behind a building pretty soon. Because it just started moving like 5 minutes ago. And now it's moving fast. But it's been there for 8 hours now. Since 2 o'clock this afternoon, I took photos of it in the same spot. So it didn't move all day. See how that looks like a pyramid right there? It's all made out of orbs. They can make all kinds of structures. And every night, that whole, picture is different. Because every night you can see the moon, or the moon hologram. They change it. So you can see those structures that are standing on their own, and they're made out of look, they're made out of the orb clusters themselves. It's not stone or anything. See, they're not even connected. See that one on top right here? It's just freestanding, because it's not even connected to the main nucleus. That's a large cluster, a couple of 100 kilometers. And this thing is huge. Yeah, that's probably, let's see how big that would be. That's about 1,000. Right there. Or at least 700 or 800 kilometers. That thing that looks like a pyramid. And just a pile of orbs. And they're still going counterclockwise. When you get close to it, you can see that they're going counterclockwise. And those are all large clusters, like, could be like 50 kilometers or more, each one. And the whole thing is made out of big clusters. And they're made out of smaller clusters, and those smaller clusters are made out of even smaller clusters. and on, all the way down to like minuscule sizes of clusters, because each orb is a cluster in itself, and each orb looks just like that big cluster right there. Okay, and it goes down right to like subatomic sizes, and they're all held together by electromagnetic force, because their spin, their velocity, and their charge all interact and act together to create a magnetic field that holds them together. And here it is. That's the electromagnetic field. It acts like a membrane. It keeps all of these charged ones in that cluster, or the cluster nucleus. Okay, you can see that it's on both sides. Okay, that's why I'm using a filter right now, so you can see that it's red on both sides. See those freestanding orbs right there? They're connected by like almost like an invisible bridge. Well, that bridge is just orbs shooting by in a circle. And this one too, that's like separated. Okay, the orbs are moving so fast that even though it's separated, it's still connected, because there's all orbs shooting through it or around it, and that gives it support to break that gravitational pull. But it doesn't even need that, it can just do it on its own. Okay, so let's see the orbs out here. Okay, that's what space looks like. Okay, and here's the dark side of the moon. It's only space, because tonight the moon is this, you know, it's the half moon cluster nucleus. And this is done in an intelligent way. There's no accident about this being a half moon tonight and being in just about the same location for 8 hours. Okay? That's not an accident. That's done on purpose. And these things that are doing it and making this are intelligent. And when it's quarter moon, eighth of the moon, or full moon, it's done on purpose. Okay, everything is done for a reason, and it's done in an intelligent way for a reason. Okay, but this thing is gaining more and more power and more energy every day. I used to shoot this without a filter at all, and I could see more because it wasn't so bright. Now I need a really dark filter to show just some of the things. I can't even show everything. I could see a lot more before. Now it's so bright, even a dark filter isn't good enough. Pretty soon I won't be able to see anything. So this is turning into a star, because the energy is increasing at like exponential levels, and there's no way that this thing is going to stay the same. See all that? That's plasma. See it right there? You can see it. It looks like a volcano right there. It's like I'm in Hawaii. See that? That's all plasma. The whole thing there is plasma. Okay, so nobody walked on this. Okay, nobody walks on that. Okay, nobody lands or walks on that. It's not possible. Only these organisms or beings, since they're intelligent, can exist in these kind of places, and also they also create stars. But this is going to be a star. It's a star right now, but it's not completed. It's still in the works. So this is a star in process, and it's getting hotter by the minute. Okay, you can tell by the plasma releases. It's just getting hotter and hotter. So whoever's claiming they walked on this or landed on this or did anything on this, is lying. Asked him to do it again. It's not that far. Let's see them do it one more time. If it's that easy, This is the reason they're not going back, and they were never there. Okay, this is the reason. Look how hot that is. Like you could see the plasma right there. I'll get it so where you can see it without me moving it. Okay, that's the hologram shaking. I can't keep up with it because I don't know which way it's gonna shake. But there's plasma all over. It's not just like in one spot. There's plasma everywhere. And don't forget, I'm using a real dark filter. If I was using no filter, you wouldn't be able to see anything. There, you can see the plasma right there. Okay, this is all due to electromagnetism. It's not a nuclear reaction. Okay, it's a very high electromagnetic charge, high intensity. Okay, I think this is stronger than nuclear power because no nuclear device can equal a star or the power of a star, and that's what this thing is. And it will be a big one soon too, the way it's in such an active state. It's going to be a big one soon. I don't know how soon, but in historical terms, it's soon. Maybe not in my lifetime, but you know, I've got much longer to go. So I don't think it'll take too long for this thing to just reach that critical mass point and not just go off and become a much larger energy mass and much stronger intensity energy mass. It'll just blow up like a balloon.